In this video, we're going to be discussing the installation of the Hifonics audio roof for your Kawasaki KRX 2-passenger. Make sure to reference the manual throughout the installation process for additional details ensuring proper installation. Step 1. If the vehicle is already equipped with a factory roof, we want to remove this roof per the roof instructions. Next, we will remove the 2 push pins in the top pocket and the 2 push pins on the top of the dash. Remove 2 Phillips screws on the lower dash. Step 4. Disconnect the wiring from the switches and interactive display or radio. Step 5. Assemble the rivet nut tool. Install the mandrel and then the collar. Step 7. With the tool in the open position, thread 1 M6 riv nut onto the mandrel fully. The threads should be to the base of the riv nut. 8. Install an M6 riv nut into both holes, as seen on page 6 of the manual. These will be on the upper front of the ROPS. You will compress the tool until the riv nut is fully compressed, and then unthread the tool to remove from the riv nut. You will repeat this process on the other side. Step 9. Step 10. Disconnect the light bar from the connector. Using a 6mm Allen wrench, remove 2 bolts securing the light bar and set the light bar aside. Step 11. Remove 2 M10 by 33mm bolts, securing the light bar brackets using a 16mm socket, and remove the bracket from the bottom side of the roof. 12. Install the front brackets of the previous step using 2 M6 by 22mm bolts and hand tighten into the rivets. 13. Assemble 1 M6 by 18mm bolt and 1 M6 washer under the head of the bolt. Install through the hole in the frame, up through the front bracket, and the second M6 washer on the top of the bracket. 14. Now you can go back and torque 2 M6 bolts into the rivets. Do this for both sides. 15. Torque down the M6 and nylock nut and complete front bracket assembly. 16. Install the 4 rubber pads, 30mm by 24mm, to the roof in the locations seen below on page 8 of the manual. Step 17. Install the 2 rubber pads, 60mm by 24mm, onto the U-brackets, centering them. Install the 2 rubber pads, 70mm by 24mm, onto the J-brackets. 18. Install the 4 155mm foam strips onto the sides of the roof and the longer 305mm foam strip by the woofer between the 2 rubber pads. 19. Grab a friend to help place the roof onto the vehicle. 20. Install the 2 light bar brackets back on the roof with the 2 M10 by 30mm bolts with a 16mm socket. Tighten them to a snug fit. 21. Install 2 6mm hex bolts into the light bar with the serrated washers between the light bar and bracket with a 6mm Allen wrench. 22. Plug the light bar connector in. 23. Install the M8 spring clip onto the metal support plate in the rear corners of the vehicle. Then the M8 by 40 bolt, washer, and rubber washer will be inserted from the top side of the roof, secure with a 13mm socket. 24. Install the passenger and driver side U-bracket around the ROPS with a 2.5mm Allen wrench. Alternate between each M4 fastener till torqued. 25. Install the two J-brackets on the rear roof using a 2.5mm Allen on the inner screw and M6 by 25mm bolt and washer with a 10mm socket. 26. Use a pull wire for ease of passing the harness through the ROPS. 27. Using electrical tape, secure the connectors along the pull cable so that they don't snag while passing the harness down the ROPS. 28. Place the harness into the channel of the roof between the roof and ROPS and secure it with a zip tie. Step 29. Pass the harness into the dash at the bottom of the ROPS and route towards the center of the dash. 30. Crimp fuse holder to the red wire and use a heat gun to shrink the connector. 31. Locate the bus bar in the center dash area. Pull back the red and black protective boots, exposing the studs. Attach the yellow ACC wire to the keyed 12-volt power source from the roof harness. Attach the red 12-volt wire to the constant 12-volt power source at the center terminal. Finally, attach the black ground wire to the right passenger side ground terminal. Step 32. Step 40. If pre-existing audio is present, then the 3 supplied Y adapters are needed to split the audio and remote between the new roof and the existing audio system. If you're not adding to an existing audio system, the speaker harness splitters will not be used. Locate the blue remote wire at the radio and connect it to the blue wire from the roof harness. At the radio, locate the JST connector and connect it to the front red-taped JST connector from the roof harness. At the radio, locate the JST connector rear. This will include the green and black, purple and black wires, and connect to the rear green-taped JST connector from the roof harness. Again at the radio, locate the JST connector entitled Sub. This will be the orange and black, brown and black wires, and connect to the sub white-taped JST connector from the roof harness. Step 41. Connect the wiring to the switches and interactive display or radio. Turn on the vehicle and test the audio roof for functionality. (34) Install 2 push pins in the top pocket. 35. Install the 2 push pins on the top of the dash. Step 36. Install 2 Phillips screws on the lower dash. With this step complete, your Hifonics audio roof system for your Kawasaki KRX 2-passenger